What's up guys, it's TheSandov back at it again. Now that you've successfully completed phase 1, let's move on to phase 2 of this Valtan raid. This video will explain normal and hard mode moves and mechanics at the end of the video. As always, I'll be going over the main moves and mechanics of the dungeon. So with that being said, let's get right on it. In this battle, you'll face against Valtan. Have everybody bring destruction bombs and one person bring corrosion bomb. These items are required for the battle. Some recommended items are flame grenades and time stop hourglass. There is no setting positions for this one, you can just go right ahead. Valtan will begin with 2 stacks of heavy armor that your party must destroy. This is indicated by a buff under his HP bar. In the beginning of the battle, Valtan will always do a charge attack. He will target one player, charge 3 times, then Bullrush into that player. However, people like to stack together since sometimes it can be hard to know who the target is. The goal here is to dodge at the last second and have Valtan smash his head on the pillars, disabling himself. If done correctly, Valtan will be disabled for a short time and everybody must use destruction grenades and destruction skills to destroy his armor. It is not necessary to break his armor on the first pillar, there's a lot more pillars around the map. Just be careful as he can destroy them with his attacks as well. There's 4 pillars that have 2 blue orbs around the map. These orbs will become available to pick up once that pillar is destroyed by Valtan. Picking one of these orbs up will give your character a buff that will protect you against Valtan's wipe attack that we'll talk about in a bit. There's enough orbs for everyone, so all players should try and pick up an orb for themselves. An attack that you need to watch out for is when Valtan leaps into the sky and axes start falling on all players. Find an empty spot and walk around in a circle while dodging these axes. You can also walk with other players at the same speed, but it's more risky. Once all the axes have fallen, Valtan will land on the arena and do huge damage to a big area. There'll be a small safe area in the edges of the map, so run over as fast as you can. If you feel that you cannot make it there, you can use your hourglass here to avoid the damage. Valtan will continue to target players to Bullrush. Do not drop Valtan to 130 health bars until you have successfully broke his armor stacks. If he's still got armor stacks at 130 health bars, or if there is no pillars left, just restart the raid. Once you have successfully broke Valtan's armor stacks, you can drop him to 130 health bars, at which he'll cast a powerful 2-attack combo. First one you can dodge, and the second one is a wipe attack that you can avoid by having the orb buff that dropped from the pillars, or by using the sidereal skill Balthor. It is important to know that failing to dodge his first attack here will consume your orb buff, meaning you will die on the wipe attack. Most people use sidereal skill Balthor here since it's hard to know if everybody grabbed an orb and dodged the first attack. Valtan will then break all of the outer structures and make the arena real clean. After dropping Valtan to 110 health bars, a cutscene will play and Valtan will fly to the moon. 4 pillars will spawn, and Valtan will then target a random player with a cone attack. Players that are in the yellow zone must take cover behind one of the pillars, while the player that is being targeted has to wait until the targeted cone attack stops following, and then they must take cover as soon as possible. Make sure to aim the cone attack away from the players. Valtan will then land and aim that same player one more time. However, this time other players don't have to hide behind the pillars, the targeted player just has to dodge the attack. Standing closer to Valtan here makes it easier to move out of the danger zone. Pay attention to the pillar or pillars hit by the attack, as they will explode first, and right after, the remaining pillars will explode as well. At around 85 health bars, Valtan will destroy a section of the map and all players must move to the other zone as he will cast a spin attack right after. This section being destroyed means you can now fall off the map. You cannot fall off the map by walking out, but you'll fall off by getting hit by some of Valtan's attacks. Right after this, he will once again cast 4 pillars and all players must take cover behind a pillar. Then Valtan will target a player again with the targeted cone attack. This is now quite dangerous because part of the map is now missing. Remember that any pillar hit by Valtan's targeted attack will explode, followed by the remaining pillars. At 65 health bars, Valtan will jump into the center of the arena. He will then target all players by placing an AoE below them. Stand together or far away from the boss wait for the AoE attack to drop on the floor, then dodge towards Valtan for the next mechanic. A cutscene will play, and right after this cutscene, players must counterattack Valtan. A trick you can use here is to count to 3 right after the cutscene is over and press your counterattack skill on 3. Failing to counter him here will most likely bring disaster, as Valtan will grab players and keep grabbing players until he is successfully countered. And it's much harder to counter after the first opportunity. At around 32 health bars, Valtan will destroy the other section of the map, leaving a small arena available for battle. Valtan will destroy this other section, then do a spin attack towards the other side that will push players off on contact. Move as far away as possible, hugging the corners, since like I said before, you cannot fall off the map by walking off. Now the map is tiny and Valtan will once again spawn 4 pillars where players must take cover. Then afterwards aim one person with the cone attack. Pay attention to the pillar or pillars that get destroyed by Valtan's attack, because that is where you'll have to move to afterwards. At 16 health bars, Valtan will cast a portal and teleport through it. He'll then jump in the center of the arena and attack his front side, back side, left side, and right side. Then he will pound on the ground with both fists a total of 5 times while casting damaging spells on players. He'll then do a big smash on the ground and deal damage around him. The safe zone will then become that area, and all players must be in the safe zone to avoid getting knocked off. He'll then spawn 3 pillars and an AoE that you must take cover from at any pillar. These pillars will then explode, so make sure to know where the safe zone is. The area with no pillar, so rush there right after. It is important to know that you can survive and avoid wiping here by using sidereal skill Balthar. The moment you see Valtan's HP reach 16 health bars or see him going for the teleport, use sidereal skill Balthar. While having his buff, you'll still take damage but a lot less, so still try to dodge, but you can now stand in front of him before he finishes his ground pounding animation, since that'll be the safe spot. Also, you do not have to dodge the yellow zone attack by taking cover at any of the pillars if you use Balthar. You can just simply walk to the safe spot. Valtan will drop dead on the ground and his ghost will appear. This phase has 40 health bars and it's the final phase. Valtan will have a buff with multiple stacks for damage reduction. The goal here is to remove the damage reduction buff to be able to kill him. Ghosts will begin to spawn randomly during this phase. Every time a ghost spawns, that ghost will always cast an attack that can be countered. Make sure to counter the ghosts because this is how you reduce Valtan's damage reduction stacks. Also, counters fill up your sidereal gauge much faster, as well as prevents possible attacks that can knock players off, so counter attacks are the play here. The person that counters the ghost will receive a buff, and attacking Valtan if you have this buff will reduce his buff stacks by 1. Since everyone's main focus will now be on counter-attacking, that means the sidereal skill gauge will increase. Use sidereal skill Tyrant here to help you burst down the boss. Focus and burn Valtan down to 0 HP, and that's pretty much it. Alright, now let's talk about some of Valtan's notable attack moves. First one being a different version of the first arena. Valtan will jump to the sky and axes will drop on players. However, this time, he will land in an area, and players must go to that area after Valtan lands because it'll then become the safe zone. Valtan can also cast a counter attack himself. He'll place both hands on his handle and prepare to counter. When you see this, stop attacking and move towards his left side. You will not be hit here. Valtan will prepare a Bullrush, however this time he will have a counter attack window available right after the charge animation. Valtan will imprison 3 players and they must be freed by using multi-hit skills. Failing to release these players will do insane damage to everyone as well as give a debuff. Flame grenades are great for imprison mechanics. Valtan will swing his axe upwards to prepare an attack. Check the axe, if it's glowing, he will attack the inside. If it's not glowing, he will attack the outside. And right after this, he will also cast a damage spell on their players. Move fast or wait to dodge it. Valtan will do a shout and then hold his axe with one hand to the side. This indicates that he will launch a powerful attack after a set delay. If you see Valtan doing this, it means he will cast a powerful attack a total of 3 times. First 2 attacks are strong but you can survive. Third one wipes the party. all 3 times will have a counter-attack window available, so be prepared to counter. However, there is a catch to this. The person that counters the boss will be silenced for about a minute, as well as the players around the boss when he was countered. Meaning, to do this properly, players must take turns trying to counter on the first and second attack. And finally, the rest of the players for the last counter, since it's the most important one. Keep a safe distance, but be ready to hop in and counter when the opportunity comes. Valtan will spawn 4 orbs in all cardinal directions, as well as a telegraphed ring attack that will do damage a few times where it was indicated. Players must take these 4 orbs, and at the same time, Valtan will have an attack that you need to counter. Not taking these orbs will give players a damage debuff with stacks equal to the number of orbs not taken. Have some players take the orbs and the rest be ready to counter. Valtan will prepare a charge and target a player. You must pay attention to this because it happens a lot faster than it seems. Keep moving around to dodge this or use your spacebar. Valtan will then do a telegraphed attack that will push players off the map and give a small area as a safe zone. Any player caught by the grab will take huge damage and will be sent flying. Valtan will cast a portal and go through it. At the same time, there will be portals spawning all around the arena. You cannot attack Valtan while this is happening, you just have to move around and dodge Valtan while he rushes through these portals. Valtan will cast a big energy sphere and have an impairment bar. And at the same time, he will gain a shield. Players must use their damage skills to deplete his shield, then use stagger skills to deplete the impairment bar. Use whirlwind grenades if you have them. Okay, now let's talk about the hard mode moves, which are basically the same but upgraded versions. Also on hard mode, Valtan's attack that stagger you will push you instead, as well as him being more tanky and dealing a lot more damage. Valtan will cast the same 3 attack sequence that you can counter. However, now orbs will spawn that will follow players and cast multiple telegraphed ringed attacks on contact. During the last phase, Valtan will have 6 stacks that you have to remove instead of 4 stacks. And that's pretty much it. If you can do normal mode and avoid most attacks, you can pretty much do hard mode as well. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. See you guys next time.